Hello, healthy friends. My name is Terry, and I'm here to do a 9-star key prediction for 2021. And in this video, you will find a chart where you can find your own 9-star key, your primary archetype. And this video will just be an overview of the star of the year for 2021. And then you can chart your own personal star. And I invite you to watch that video as well that shows what your personal year will be like and what star you'll be under. Now, if you were born in January or February, you might want to look up the Chinese New Year's for the year you were born, just to make sure that your star is accurate, because it really depends on, this is Chinese astrology, so wherever the Chinese New Year's was, sometimes it can be early to mid-January, and sometimes it can go all the way into February because it is based on the first new moon of the lunar calendar. So that could affect what star you are, just to be sure. And as I said, I will just be reading your primary star, but you actually have 3 different stars that affect your 9-star key. And I just want to keep it simple. I don't want to get in too over your head. But if you would like to know all 3 of your stars, you can get an astrology reading with me at Kamimi Healing Arts. And I'll put the link down below. 2021 Chinese New Year's is going to be on Friday, February 12th this year. And it is in a Yin Metal Star. And it's also the ox year, though for the purposes of this video, we will be focusing more on the 9-star key and not the animals. In this video, I will talk about how to align with the energy of the year to make the most out of 2021 and that you can have your best luck this year. It's best if you look up your own individual star and read the energy of your personal star as well, so that you can align with your own element. And the 9-star key is based on the 5-element system used in Chinese medicine. I've studied all kinds of different astrology, and as a massage therapist and healer, I've studied Jin Chin Do acupressure, and I'm a Reiki master teacher. But the 9-star key has been one of my favorite teachings as far as really getting to know the 5-element system and how to align with the energy of every year. It really makes a difference in your year if you can align with exactly what element you're going through. And the 9-star key is a nature-based system that is similar to the seasons of the year. You can think of your life like tending a garden. Sometimes you are planting seeds, sprouting ideas, growing your business, blooming, and then other times you are letting things go, leaves are falling, and you might be going more inward with your energy, like in winter. It can be so useful just to know where you are on this cycle of life, because you can align with the energy and you wouldn't plant seeds in a snowstorm. The 9-star key will teach you how to align with the seasons of your life. The best timing to bring your creations forward, the best ways to manifest what you want, and how to find overall balance in your life. In the 9-star key, 2021 is a 6-metal star, making 6 stars the center star. So if you are a 6-metal star, you can find more about what that means to be the center star in 2021 by listening to your own special 6-metal star report, as well as this one will have a lot to do with the 6-metal star. The last time we had a 6-metal star was the year 2012. So you can just think back to what that year was like for you. What did that year feel like? Obama was re-elected that year, and the economy finally showed some signs of improving after the 2006 recession. So there is some hope that our economy will miraculously improve with this metal star being in the center star again. Perhaps from increased stimulus packages. I do predict that interest rates will be rising by late fall of 2021. So if you're planning on refinancing or purchasing property, do it before October 2021. The 9-star key follows the seasons of year. So if we started from January to December, we would begin in nature with just a seed held deeply underground in the cold of winter. And when all the plants are dormant, the seed is germinating. Then early spring comes, and this would be just about now. It would be like early February. And the seed just begins to push upwards. And then in spring through summer, all the plants are pushing upward to grow outward. And the trees and the flowers bloom and bear fruit. And this is a very outward experience. And just like in summer, we just want to go out, right? Just all the plants and nature is in an outward movement. And then in the fall, we have the harvest. And all the plants begin the journey of winding back in. And that is where the metal star resides. It's this harvest star, harvest season. And it's just as the plants begin to bring their energy back within. So 6 metal stars are very much about that inward process. They tend to be more introverted. And they're more about winding back in, like a spiral going back down into the earth. And if you are a gardener, you know that fall is the season when plants return to their roots and all of their energy goes underground now into their root system, feeding their roots through fall and all the way through winter. So this metal star season is like fall. It's about winding back down, and it's our last chance to really harvest the fruits of our labor before everything dies off and goes into the winter season. So it's as if this 2021 year has an overall feeling of fall and the harvest, where it is time to reap what you have sown. And it's time to gather the food and pick the fruits of your labor. This is an extremely auspicious year for manifesting and making more money for us all. And where energy flows, the money goes. So you will want to be more discriminating this year about where you put your energy. You want to optimize the best return on your investment, and time becomes very precious in 2021. You don't want to waste your time on anything that is not going to serve you and help you manifest. And so just like in the fall, sometimes we prune back the plants in the garden, just getting ready for that dormant season. This is also a good year to take an evaluation of your life and maybe prune back anywhere that it's just not working, or anywhere that you're just not getting that return on investment. If it's not paying off, it's time to just cut those branches and focus on the inner roots of your garden. And as we collect the fields from the farm and we will prosper, we just gather it all up to store for the winter. So this 2021 year is going to be a much better year for business and a much better year for farmers and food production in general. Even if you're just growing food in your own backyard garden, you will find that it's a much better harvest this year than in years past. And you can also think of this in the greater scheme of things, that we are all going back within. We're going back into our roots. This year will be a real back to basics time for us all, when we return to our roots collectively. And all of us will be going deep within this year. This is a time to deeply nourish ourselves from the inside out, and to just regroup, maybe make a new plan, but it all starts within. This is not an outward year, this is a spiraling inward year. And so we'll be working a lot on our subconscious this year. This is a great time to rethink your path in life or reprogram your belief systems to prepare for a brand new growth cycle that will come later on. This is a collective rebirthing for our whole society, and it takes time to gestate, and it begins with going within. And there are so many things we will need to prepare before the winter comes. And so if there's one thing 6 Metal is really good about, it's making preparations. 6 Metal loves to plan ahead and have all their ducks in a row. So we may even see a little bit more of that prepper mentality this year, with people really being prepared in case of an emergency. That's something 6 Metals love to be prepared. They've always got the first aid kit, and they're ready for an emergency. So there's going to be a little more sense of get ready and, prep everything, have your foods cupboards stocked well. And safe shelter will become such a priority in 2021. This is an excellent year for purchasing real estate. There will be a stronger desire than ever for the security of home ownership, as rental rates are just going to continue to rise with the rich getting richer mentality, and the availability of housing, the availability of rentals is going to continue to decrease, making for a real scarcity vibe around shelter issues. And so people may just prioritize owning something smaller just to own rather than renting a larger, costly home. And this is an excellent year for the tiny house idea, or even having like communal living. In Western astrology, we see a stellium in Aquarius, and that means all the heavy-hitting planets are stacked up in Aquarius. We've got Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and Pluto all going into Aquarius, and that's about working within the community. So we'll see a lot more community. We might see co-housing, co-ownership, commune-style living situations. I think the last time we had this many planets in Aquarius was like the late 60s, early 70s when I was born, and there was all kinds of communes propping up all over Oregon and California. So we'll see a real rebirth in this idea of coming together, shared resources, communal living. And Aquarius also rules science, innovation, and futuristic technologies. So we're already seeing things like nanotechnology taking off. And who knows what else they will think up this year. But with Aquarius, it's going to be out of this world. I hope we get jetpacks finally. And going back to the Chinese 9-star, Metal also rules over the lungs. If you know Chinese medicine, the metal season is the lung season, and it can bring up the emotion of grief and loss. And I think we're in a time collectively where we are having a lot of grief and perhaps loss from 2020. People have lost family members and jobs alike, so there can be a grieving period that happens in 2021, just almost like a collective sigh over, wow, what have we just gone through? And that's really normal, but you might also find some respiratory afflictions. It's like the when we're going into the autumn season, a lot of times that's when you have colds and respiratory lung asthma. That might be more common. And we might also see breath work taking off this year. It's just a coping mechanism. It'll be vital to get lots of deep breaths all year and just nourish your lung chi this year, because for all of us collectively, the lungs will come into focus. And the 6th star is located in the northwest corner of your home. So this is a really good year. Now we're going into feng shui, and this is a great year to bolster your northwest corner with a lot of energizers. You want to have plants, and the northwest relates to water. So maybe a fish tank, a water fountain. I'm hoping to get a hot tub in my northwest corner if I can convince my husband. Big water, bathtubs, renovate your northwest corner and put in a jacuzzi tub. That would be amazing. Just bringing in lots of water, plants, and just make that area beautiful. Maybe paint your northwest corner a brilliant color of blue. Blue, that nautical blue is very in right now. And so bringing in the colors of blue and water into the northwest corner is another way to rejuvenate it. And you can put in powerful crystals and, of course, metal objects. Like you could put your singing bowls, place those in that northwest corner to charge them, because they'll be charged. The northwest corner relates to the metal, and it also relates to wealth and collecting funds. Where there's water, there's wealth in feng shui. So really bolster up that northwest corner. You might want to put some lucky coins, metal coins, or malachite crystals are good for prosperity in the northwest corner. And metal feeds water. As the condensation builds on the metal, that metal condensation becomes water, and water is wealth. So the water region of your home is also the west portion of your house. So this is another area to enhance for prosperity with any kind of water. They also say in 2021 you should place a blue water dragon in the very center of your home to represent that water element that is we're all trying to bring into our homes more this year. This is my blue dragon that I got. You don't have to get fancy with these. You can look up blue water dragon statues that are, 6 feet tall and cost $4,000, or you could just get a little rubber ducky. And this is a blue dragon. I don't know if you can see that. But our bathroom is in the center of our home. So I just have this blue water dragon floating in our bathtub, and that's enough to, every time I see it, I think of the water wealth that will be coming to us this year. So you can just have fun with feng shui. It doesn't have to be uber, serious. Just find fun ways to bring these elements in. And just surround yourself in metal this year. That metal will remind you of just how wealthy you truly are, because metal is such a money-making element. You will want to wear more metal this year. I have my metal bracelet on. Metal bangle bracelets, maybe metal rivets and bejewelers will become in fashion this year. We're just going to see a lot more metal coming on the scene because we are immersed in this metal year. So with everything being auspicious in the northwest and the west in feng shui, the star that we have to look towards for the southwest and the southeast, those areas become a little bit weaker because all the energy is going to the northwest and the west. And then the southwest corner of your home, there's just a little more conflicting energy there. And so you may need more protection this year in the southwest corner, especially if you have a door. Like for me, I have my office, my massage space is in the southwest corner, and it's a healing space with the outside door. And so I really want to protect that door from any kind of intrusion. You can have robbers, or it can just be bad juju that can come in that southwest door. And so for me, I got this little protection amulet. And I will just hang this over. In fact, I've already hung it over my door. And this will just protect the energy of the southwest corner. And you can also use like a selenite and put the selenite in any windows that you might have in the southwest corner. You just really want to protect, bring in some good juju to protect the area. And I will also have my Himalayan salt lamp in that southwest corner, and I have this there anyways, but I will especially make note to, put my crystal salt lamp on more often in the southwest corner just to light it up, and just to keep, that helps to keep it purified, protected, and not let any, maybe burning some Palo Santo and doing a little more smudging. Just having an awareness that, ooh, this is the area that some negative energy could accumulate. I'm not going to get obsessed about it, but I'm going to make sure I clean it up, because it can also have a discordant energy that can cause anger and arguments. And, you know, gosh, I don't want to get in a fight with my massage client in there. So I just am going to be aware that that room needs a little more help being purified and protected, and to keep the energy vibe up. And the other corner is the southeast corner. The southeast corner has some tricky aspects too. You should definitely not build on the southeast corner of like a lot of land, or if you have a home, maybe your backyard is in the southeast corner and you've been thinking about putting in extra dwelling there. Just don't do that this year. The idea is that you do not want to disturb the energy of your southeast corner. If you have a tree you've been wanting to cut down in the southeast corner, don't do it this year. Don't dig up a tree, don't cut a tree, just leave it alone. You know, you can still do a little bit of gardening, light gardening, you know, if you want to plant some flowers in the southeast corner, that's fine. But don't renovate. If you've wanted to renovate your kitchen, and your kitchen is in the southeast corner of your house, just don't do it this year. If you disturb the energy of the southeast corner in this year, it can really cause some difficulties in your life, and nobody wants that. So just leave that southeast corner alone. And yeah, and you can really be very auspicious this year in the sixth metal if you just pay attention to the northwest and the west, light those areas up, and avoid the southeast and the southwest. This is a great year for coins and metal, because we're in that metal center star. So I believe even the back quarter right now is fetching thousands of dollars. If you just find a back quarter, you know, you could get one. I think my husband got one at the grocery store. They're out there, and now they're worth like $5,000. That's so sixth metal star right there. So be on the lookout for those. And gold and silver, they're going to take on much better value this year. Just watch. Even a renewed interest in all kinds of jewelry. Just like the roaring 20s, we saw lots of jewelry trending. That time we had a metal star then, and everybody was loving to be adorned in jewelry in the 20s. And so we will have a renaissance of jewelry making. And it's almost like a sign of renewed hope in our economy. And all metal, even I see Bitcoin and cryptocurrency just taking off, doing especially well in this time of the metal. And by the end of the year, we will have seen so many changes in our money. We might not even recognize. I can't even predict right now what is going to happen with our financial institutions, but we're going to have a huge focus on money and how we get paid and how we keep our money and how we invest our money. And it's going to be overall a positive shift with much better distribution of wealth that is coming in this year. Just wait. And what else do we have that involves metal? We've got trains, planes, and automobiles. I see major innovations coming in our transportation sector. We will really see the push towards electric cars finally, yay, and more solar. All of a sudden there'll be complete renewal in putting money towards the structures, the metal structures, metal buildings. All of that will be in focus, and we'll have steel, metal rolling out to improve the infrastructure. Metal can also be formed into daggers and blades and swords. I know, my son is a blacksmith. So there is a real sense of danger and assassination, stabbing, and again, I'm just going to bring in some Western astrology here, because whatever is happening in the stars right at the time of Chinese New Year's, this sort of flavors the whole year. And so what do we have? Mercury Retrograde. Everyone knows about Mercury Retrograde. It's happening in Aquarius right now. And sure, you might know Mercury Retrograde, but did you know it is conjunct with the asteroid Damocles? Which brings to mind the story of Damocles. Damocles was a figure who worked for Dionysus and the god of harvest. So it just is so fitting that we bring up a story of the god of harvest during this year that is our harvest year. And Dionysus was very wealthy. He had an amazing harvest. He was a really great manifester. He always had a storehouse of wealth, wine, and women. He was known for that. And Damocles was one day praising Dionysus for his amazing luck in manifesting all that he had. And so Dionysus said, well, if you think I'm so lucky, then let's just trade places. He gave Damocles his throne and placed a mighty sword above the throne, hanging by one single horse's hair. Nobody wants to sit in that throne. And so Damocles was like, wow, this is really scary. And this story is really going to flavor our 2021 year. Dionysus came back and said, do you feel lucky now? And Damocles aspect can have a twofold influence, really, over 2021. We might be just living in constant fear this year, as if we have a sword over our head hanging by a single horse's hair. Not the way you want to sleep at night. And there's going to be, with lungs, you also get this whole sense of anxiety. I can't breathe. Oh my God, I feel so nervous. And so that energy will just be permeating the whole year because we have this Mercury retrograde conjunct Damocles right out of the gate, right during the Chinese New Year's. And we might be just living in constant fear and anxiety as if we have this sword hanging over our head for the entire 2021. And I also believe that the moral of the story is that you shouldn't assume that anyone has it any easier than you do. I think so often you might not know the ways that some people struggle in life. We can look at Jeff Bezos and say, wow, he's a billionaire, he's so lucky. But we don't know the backstory, and he may very well have a sword hanging over his head by a thread. So just trying so hard this year. We're all in different places and struggling with the chaos that still is, coming from 2020. Just trying so hard not to be judgmental of where people are in their place. And even if somebody seems so much more successful or they seem like they have so much more money, we don't know the ways in which others struggle. So I'm really gonna try, one of my New Year's resolutions is less judgment, more kindness. And I think that's kind of a moral we could get from that story. But anyways, this Mercury retrograde influence on the Chinese New Year's can mean 2020 is really our chance to redo everything. I like to think of the Mercury retrograde as a time to bring in those re-words, right? This year may be marked by a lot of re-envisioning our reality. And we hope to have an economic recovery coming. But I don't know, we might also have a recession. And what other words, RE words, can you think of for 2021? If you think of any RE words, drop them in the comments. I'd love to have more RE words to think about. Some of my favorites, of course, are Reiki. Reiki starts with the RE. And reunite, regroup, rebuild, reform, rejuvenate, revenue, responsibility, and the one that my intuitive son swears is coming is Renaissance. And I hope for a Renaissance. That would be wonderful. So hopefully the Renaissance is coming soon. So 2021 will also be heavily influenced by Saturn and Uranus, which is not great. We have 3 Saturn-Uranus squares coming. The next one is on February 17th. And Saturn is all about the big life lessons. He is the teacher, and he is going to teach you what you need to know. And Uranus is all about sudden change and earthquakes, lightning, you know, things happening so quick and out of your control. So we have the teacher teaching us a lesson through a sudden, shocking change. Oh, that's not a great square. This aspect can cause a lot of inner tension, and it might just lead to a dramatic shift in your life you weren't ready for. Like maybe you suddenly have to close your business, or you get fired and you weren't expecting it. So all I can say is just surrender to the process. Learn the lesson, because Saturn is relentless and he's going to teach you no matter what, whether you want to learn it or not. And Uranus is going to make it like a very intense roller coaster ride. I like to say a lot of people thought that 2020 was going to be a roller coaster ride, but I think 2020 was just the line to get on the roller coaster, and 2021 actually is the roller coaster. Now we're just now getting seated with our seatbelts on, and now the roller coaster is about to take off. The 2020 was just get the line for it. So get ready, buckle up. We're gonna go crazy this year with, and I like to also say, know your Uranus. Know where Uranus is in your chart, because wherever Uranus is in your chart, that's where this Saturn-Uranus squares are going to be affecting you. So I do astrology charts too. But on a much more positive note, Jupiter and Venus will be conjunct on February 11th, which is just the night right before Chinese New Year's, which is Friday, February 12th. And Jupiter and Venus come together in Aquarius. So look up early in the morning on February 11th. It could be February 12th, depending where you are, but in the Pacific time, it'll be February 11th, early morning, and you will see Jupiter and Venus come together for a kiss from the heavens. And Jupiter can be seen as the king of wealth, and Venus is like the queen of love. And so when they come together, they just bestow divine blessings on us all. And so, woo, that is a good day to make a wish. And Venus and Jupiter coming together, they let us know no matter what, everything is going to be okay. This is just an extremely hopeful aspect to have just as we're going into the Chinese New Year. So it will really flavor all of 2021, where it's like, okay, you might have a sword over your head, but you know what? It's going to be okay, because the king of wealth and the queen of love, they got your back, and you're going to be fine. And there is an influence of hope that is also running through 2021. So just really interesting aspects. This magical Venus-Jupiter day will be the day that we will hang our prayer flags in my family. And this year I'm going to be hanging 3 kinds of prayer flags. We do this every year. It's just such a nice ritual to bring in the Chinese New Year's. And this year I will be hanging the wind horse, which is really just the most common that you see. I got a wind horse with a dragon though, because my husband is a 6 metal star and he's also a fire dragon, and so the dragon will help him in this year. Sometimes it can be a little tricky when you're the center star, so this will be auspicious for him. And whenever you are hanging your prayer flags, you always want to make sure the wind horse is going upwards, because the wind horse takes your prayers up into the sky. So you just have to hang it so that the wind horse is going that way. And this is just something we do every year. And of course I have this year Ganesh, overcomer of obstacles. I think we could all use that this year. And what else? And then I also have this love goddess, Kurakula, which is the female. I don't know if you can see that. And she is the female tantric love goddess. She is she originated in India, and I love her because she is both peaceful and powerful, and she has a wrathful protective quality as a deity. She brings with it lots of gifts of love and wealth, and she always reminds us that we manifest the best when we're coming from our heart. So she's you can see that she I don't know if you can see that, but I'll probably post a link to it, but She is depicted with 4 red arms, and she's holding a bow and arrow made of flowers in one pair of arms and a hook and noose with flowers in the other. So she will both, you know, shoot the bows of love, and also she'll protect your property with that noose as well. So just in time for Valentine's Day, it's nice to have this goddess of love. And every year I just pick a different one, and I love to find these prayer flags at the Dharmashop. And what I always recommend to my clients and friends is just go to Dharmashop and see what prayer flags. I've never had this prayer flag before, but this is the one that called to me this year. I was like, ooh, I want that one. And it's just fun to go over. They have hundreds of prayer flags, and you can just say, ooh, which one is calling me? And that is the one you need, I promise. And the Dharmashop is really nice because all the proceeds go to their Buddhist nuns. And so it's just a win-win. It feels really auspicious and positive to be helping Buddhist nuns at the same time you're bringing prayers into your house. And when we do I'll put the link to the Dharmashop down below too. So if you want to get your prayer flags at Dharmashop, I'll put the link. And when we do our Chinese New Year's ritual, we've been doing it for a couple decades now with my family, and it's just a great thing to do in the middle of winter. You're feeling humdrum with the dark skies and rain, and then you put up a bunch of prayer flags and, you know, celebrate Chinese New Year's. It's a great time for our families. When we do our New Year's ritual, we write down what we want to manifest. I have like a little piece of white paper, and this year I just really want health. Has become so important. Health for my family. So I'll just write it on a piece of paper. And this year I want to manifest $1 million or more. So I'll just put that too, $1 million. And why not? You know, just sky's the limit. Ask for what you want, you just might get it. And then I put it in my brass singing bowl. And on February 11th, when we do our Tibetan prayer flags, when we hang them, we usually have a fire pit, we burn incense, we write our intentions, I put them in the bowl, and then I send Reiki to the intentions, and I will ring this bowl for just as long as Spirit tells me. Sometimes I can ring the bowl for over an hour, just sending these intentions out into the universe. They're like prayers, and the bowl rings them out into the universe to be answered. And so if you have a special 2021 wish and you want me to put your piece of paper in my bowl and send Reiki to your wish on Chinese New Year's on February 11th, if you just write it in the comments before February 11th, write your wish, and I will put it in the bowl, and I will put you as part of my family's Tibetan prayer flag ritual, and I will ring your prayer. We've been doing these manifestation meetups with the Bend Health Guide, and so I already have about 30, and also with some of my Reiki students, and so I already have about 30 white pieces of paper I'm going to put in the bowl on Chinese New Year's, but I would love to put your wish in too, and I'll just ring it all night long. So anyways, that pretty much sums up 2021. If you want to know what your year, your own star element is, remember to check the chart, find your star, and then I will be releasing more videos with each 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, all the way through the 9 stars, so that you can find out what 2021 means specifically for you. Make sure to look at those videos. And I just wish you a very happy, prosperous 2021. May your harvest be good, and make hay while the sun shines. This is the year to really make that money, harvest all you can, and may you align with the star energies. And just be sure to check out your special star forecast. Thank you, and have a beautiful day.